Okay, good evening everyone. So today we will see about CSS inspection and CSS box model. So how exactly what is CSS inspection? So if you take any web page, we can actually check the CSS what they have applied using different type of tools. So for example, by default every browser will provide the developer tools, and there are few extensions also like CSS inspector, and depending on different tools available, we will be checking the what are the CSS required with that. So generally it's the workflow. So when we want to check for a specific element, we can just use the browser and uh, click on the element we want to inspect, and we can view the CSS rules, style sheets, and everything. So we can, if you can change something like the color of the button, actually we can change, and it's like a local copy, so we can change the web page, and we can change the whatever we require. We can change that via by updating it in the developer tools. So we have given the link. So let's see the demo. So for example, so this is like if you click on this toggle, so just closing. So this is a website, plain HTML site without any CSS. So it's like a button for us to test. So when we click the toggle, it this was applied CSS and it look very colorful, right? So whenever we want to check what exactly it is, like we will go to the tools and developer options. So generally the shortcut is Control Shift I. Otherwise, if we have function keys, we can directly click F12. It will open the function directly the element. So before that, we just go to element, and for example, if my impression is for this button, I just click on this. I click inspect. So even if I click this, yeah. So this is a button. When I click this, if you see, we have all the styling properties: background, what is the border radius, what is the text alignment, is like center. So for example, if I just change it to left, so it is not changing. So it changed, but it's not. So for example, background color to black. So here I changed the background color to black. Before it used to be purple using the hexadecimal code. Now I change it to black. Then or this thing got changed to black. So, but it is just a local copy. There is no need of having the same thing. So if I just refresh it again back, now it went back. Now just, and again it came back to the original background color. So and now if you see, there are multiple things, right? So if I just want, if I take this heading, so it is H1. So in the H1, the display, the font size is 2EIM. What is the margin block and everything? Font weight is bold. So we have learned yesterday like what is the font weight, and yeah. So we can try different kind of stuff. So similarly, so there is another link. So where we can actually there is some questions given, so we need to clarify, like we need to answer it and then submit. It will actually give us the correct answer or not. So what is the color of the body? So how we can do that? We can actually just go to elements, and now I am just inspecting. So now if I check the inspecting the total, so the background color it is giving alias blue. Okay. So again, the developer tools is like whenever we open the developer tools, so just if you want to inspect any element, we can actually use this directly, and here they have given the colors like questions. So now the first question is like what is the name of the color of the body? So we need to select the total body, and, and when we so it's like LS blue. So now if I just if I give blue submit, it says incorrect. So when I just LS blue, now I got the correct answer. Now what is the font size of the H1? So H1 is the first heading. So when I just again go back and I want this H1 is 3 REM font size. So just now it is correct. So now the next one they are asking about font weight. So again I'm inspecting the H2. So when I just go back, yeah, for H2 they have font weight is 500. So we already learned that it's a range from 100 to 900. So it's like, now what is the font family? Sorry. Uh, so mm, so this is the paragraph. So if you see when we click on, it's already giving the element name. Then if we just so now we want font family. So here, so the font family we can get it from here. If we submit, and we got all four. Okay. So this is just for our understanding how we inspect a web page. So depending on that, so for example, if we want to inspect this web page, for example, TechCrunch, if I just check this, uh, so in this there are stylings. So if it is like strike it off, so the parent element uh, sometimes overwrite the font sizes. So that's why it happens. So again, for example, H3 heading. So, so in this way we have different sheets, but we have already for root element how much size is there, like body element. So this is advanced CSS, so it's like mobile header, so decoration. So for anything, we will have the developer tools will be helpful for anything to check. So again, just we came back to a simple website. So when we click on this, it is like plain HTML. When just click on this button, it changes to CSS. So this is a simple web page. So when we just want to check this one or H2, so here it is like 1.5 rem and font weight is bold. So there is another thing is like there will be so whenever we open the developer tools, and if we go back and go to more tools, there will be uh, CSS overview. So when we want something like when we click on the capture, so it captures on the website the all the content, and it gives the summary like how many elements are there, what is the style sheets, whether it is using external style sheet or internal style sheets, what is the style rules, like CSS selectors already we have discussed types of selectors, so whether they are ID selectors or class selectors or universal selectors, attribute selectors, how many are there, something like that, and what are the colors, so they are giving hexacode, and even fonts, what are the fonts they have used. So this is also Google tool only. There is uh, they don't need to have any extension. By default, Google Chrome will have all this like CSS for you tool also, but it is like not directly available, but it will be available once you own the developer tools. Then it will have. There are again, if you go to more tools, we will have all this. So it can be what is security? There are multiple things like networking. If I go back, so now we have changed the button color also, like as I shown, we change it from purple to black. Now this is the web links to practice as what I've shown you. These are the web links. So if you want more documentation around this for CSS tools, how to inspect and developer extensions, so interactive CSS. So these are the additional resources you can try for learning CSS. Now the box model is again something like so fundamental concept. So for every element there will be a will be considered as a rectangle, or maximum of the time it will be considered as a rectangle element, and of, around that there will be border and margin. So whenever we open this thing, so for example, just this is box model. Now if I just want select this element, so only it is the source world.png, and the styling is nothing. So when I see this is the element, it is having a rectangle. Now around that, like padding, border and margin are there. So what exactly padding, margin and border, we will see. So the content, as of I shown the content, right? So in the content, for now it is like image is our content. Now around that image there is padding, the transparent space between the border. So it creates a gap around the content and the border is like again, if I just so the border, so all the elements. So let me select the total box. So for example, selected only the hello world thing. So again, the margin like 1 em, margin block. So this is the element, around that. How much margin is there, like in the border? So as of now, they have not defined border. So we are not getting any border. So there is one extension for this to view the box models, like first set for Chrome. So whenever we open and we actually uh, like activate it, now actually we can see this is one element box, and this is one box, this is another box. So we are keeping these two boxes inside one box. So similarly, and this is actually an image, not a box. So this is one of the useful to check the box models. Now just the default, what is the default behavior. So for example, it's like in the box we have given 300 pixels as width. So the element will be 300 pixels of width. Oh. And padding is like 20 pixels and border is like 5 pixels margin. So it's like because we are adding uh, the padding and the border, right? So how the element will be look like is like 340 by 340 pixels. Even the content is only 300 pixels, but we are adding a padding 20 pixels, like length and height. Similarly, border also we are adding, so we are adding 5 by 5. And margin we don't consider. Margin is like again it is outside the box. So if I just again, if I just see this element, so the margin is something uh, is added outside the box. So whatever we define, it has added outside the box. But the element is like it is only what of like if I consider this 16 by 16 is added, but the element is like very less. Here we are not getting it. So the same thing like the box sizing, we can actually change. So if the border is like solid blue 5 pixels, so if I just want to change this element styling, yeah, okay, just see the CSS for you. We'll go back to element. Just I'm checking where the stylings. Okay. Anyways, so generally when we want to give the border, like for example, if you want to change the border like solid blue, so so around our element, we will get again just a on. So if you see it's like light blue color is coming. So if you want that to the border to increase something 20 pixels and like solid black, we can change that. Just check where it is. So we can change the stylings. So now the last element is like the div element. So as of now, maximum of the time whenever we check the uh, web page, we maximum of the time we see the div element. A div element is nothing but it's like a act as a container. We can actually create multiple containers uh, and we can actually group multiple images or multiple HTML elements into that containers. So it's like if you want a certain section to have one type of CSS, we can for that div we can actually keep inside that div, and we can give the div an ID, and we can actually do the CSS on that div ID, and it will apply for all the elements under the div. So this is why we haven't spoken about this, because we should know CSS first, and then without knowing the CSS, if we know a div also, it is not important. So it's like, example, maximum of the time if you see the class or div, so as you said, multiple divs are there. So for example, for this it is like a class equal to logo, but that means uh, it, this div is actually referring to the CSS, so where it groups all the elements, where it is defined as a class equal to logo. Similarly, there is a div ID, like for one thing there is a div ID, and for the other thing it will, for example, this it will differ. So now again, if I see a div, there is a different classes, like, so the classes are getting differed, and depending on the class, the CSS also will be different. So you can just check it out all the web links. So how to further explanation what is the box model, and how we can actually change the paddings or the margins. So we have provided all the links. So just check this PPT. I think yeah, I can actually do some practice, and you can able to do uh, the thing. Like, you will get basic HTML and CSS, then we will be able to create some websites going forward, and Python. For today, I think we are done with CSS. Tomorrow we will see about web scraping. Mm, that's it for today. Thank you.